Okay, hello everybody. This is the first video with regard to the heat and AC kit that comes with the Superlite Coupe. This is, let's see, what are we looking at? We're looking at a condenser and also an evaporator that comes with the kit. This system is from Vintage Air, and basically they give you all the parts needed to get heat and AC into the car. It's a pretty simple unit. It's just heat and AC, and the heat and the AC will feed the defrost vents and the forward facing vents, and that's sort of simple. I think I'm going to modify the system so that I can turn the defrosters on and off. I may have to do that to pass Jersey inspection, so you'll see that later in the build when I'm doing the interior and electronics. But let's take a look at what we have. So this is the condenser that comes with the car, and essentially it comes with brackets, but I'll probably make some nice looking billet aluminum brackets and mount it to that front radiator box compartment. This is the evaporator, and you can see the motor is missing. I've already taken the motor off. I have to do an adjustment on that to fit it in the chassis the way I want to, so I'll get into more detail on that later in the video or another video. Let's see, they give you all the AC crimping connectors, they give you a dryer, they give you these sort of basic vents, but they do the job. They're sort of nice looking. I don't know if I'll upgrade these to something in aluminum, but we'll see. And then they give you the bag electronics, and the electronics basically are the wiring harnesses, the knobs you need to control the fan and to turn it from AC to heat. They also give you a heater control valve, which if you're using an LS or LT engine, you typically don't use the valve that comes with the kit. There's a special valve that other aftermarkets make that work better with an LS or LT engine, and I'll also get into that at a later video. They also give you all the tubing necessary to connect the heat and the AC system to the car. And a lot of people, will use some aluminum tubing because it's a little thinner or a little lighter. I'm not sure exactly what my approach will be, but this is really a walk around to show you what comes in the car. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a tight little system. It fits under the dash really nicely. And I will walk you through what modifications I'm making to get it to fit the way I would like it to fit, so stay tuned. Okay, well, let's talk about a couple approaches as far as modifying the evaporator to get it to fit in the Superlite Coupe. Let's see, I'll explain the general approach here. So you can see the front of the evaporator. This is where the air comes out, and basically there's a channel that fits over this, and then you drill holes in it facing up, and those holes match the holes in the top of the foot box, and there's a plenum that sits on top of that, and the air gets distributed to the defroster and also the front facing vents, and that all is really designed well, and it works right out of the box. The challenge is the way that these lines are oriented. The heater core lines point this way. This compressor and condenser line points to the right, and the front foot box angles in sort of just like this, and these hit to the side of the frame. So there's a couple different approaches. Actually, there's 3 different approaches that people take. So they'll leave the evaporator as is, and what they'll do is they'll bend these pipes over to straighten them out, and then they'll reclock this. There's a bolt down here, and you can simply reclock it. That's a good approach. The challenge is it's still really tight in that particular area. One builder, he literally just flipped this 90 degrees, and then he put the holes in the top of the chassis in a different location, and that worked too. The approach that I'm going to take, 2 other builders did, which is they open the box up, and that's why that blower motor is missing, and you simply flip the inside of you really just flip the heater core, AC core over, and then you assemble the box back, and now you have these items all located on the other side. You still have to straighten them out and reclock, but it gives you a lot more room. So that is the process I'm going to take, and I'll show you what it takes to do that. Okay, well, as you can see, this particular area, that's where the blower motor was, and I simply unscrewed a number of screws that go into plastic and removed the blower motor. Very easy. What was not as easy is this whole area. This was all filled with some silicone glue. Then you have this like sticky tar substance that sort of seals this whole area up. You have to sort of peel that all back, and then it actually will release itself from the plastic chassis. Okay, so I'm going to take this out and you can see what it looks like standalone. Okay, well, I got the heater AC core out of the unit. I mean, it's pretty amazing how compact this is. I mean, it's a heater AC core in one, so it is compact. And these are the components we need to adjust. So I'm going to reclock this. I'm going to find a way to bend these over. There are a couple other builders that have done that, so I'm going to call them and just understand what technique they used. I don't know if you need to use heat, or you can put it in a vise, or I don't want to kink those tubes, so I got to be very careful and gentle in that particular operation. The other thing I did is, this is the way the box comes, and all those pipes stick out of this area. So what I did was I just duplicated that channel on this side, so I cut this out with the Dremel, and then I'll actually patch the other side up. You'll see that in the follow-on segment. But anyway, the next step really is to reorient these components, and then I'll I'll close this particular section up. You'll see how I do that, and then I'll be ready to install this in the chassis.